I would like to thank one of my subscribers, Adrian Thomas, for this story. And, this is really not just about American Airlines, ladies and gentlemen. It's really about all of these airlines out here. But it's something to think about. I know people are still flying. And just know many of the flight attendants and people that work on those airplanes also have CV. American Airlines had 100 flight attendants recently test positive for CV, according to their union. Now, this story came out April 7th, 2020, CNN Business. The union representing flight attendants for American Airlines says about 100 flight attendants have tested positive for CV. The Association for Professional Flight Attendants, representing more than 27,000 flight attendants, disclosed the figure in a message to its members, saying the airline has agreed to start providing face masks for frontline team members while at work. You should wear one. Wow, they should have done this weeks ago. You mean to tell me you're just getting around to giving your staff masks? And ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself, how often are they sanitizing these planes that are flying? We don't even hear anything about the airport sanitizing these planes. Now, you can make the assumption that they're doing it, but the bottom line of all these flight attendants are getting CV, how well are they really sterilizing these planes? Not just them, but any airlines. And you're so closed in on these flights. I don't know how you can avoid getting it. But yes, there are still many people, ladies and gentlemen, that are flying. It just seems like personal protective equipment is a problem in many different industries, not just the medical. And how do you, and plus, flight attendants, they have so much contact with the people on board, and remember, you don't have to be close to somebody with CV in order for you to get it. So the fact that they're on that plane with the passengers alone is enough. Remember, a person with it can just start talking and spread it to other people. And that's a huge problem, especially for folks that, there are people still traveling, people still trying to go on vacation, visit family members. I mean, all that stuff is still happening. People trying to get to vacation homes and wow, at what expense? We have consistently advocated for personal protective equipment, PPE, for all of our flight attendants to be available on every aircraft, for social distancing between passenger and crew, jump seats, for thermal scanning, that's SCANNING, because I know it almost sounds like scamming, but scanning in all airports, and to receive immediate notification of flight attendants who have tested positive for the virus, Hendricks said. Flight attendants are aviation's first responders who are transporting medical personnel and supplies to CV hotspots, and they need to be treated and protected as such. American would not comment directly on the union's claim of flight attendants testing positive for the virus at the world's largest airline, but I don't see how they can't. I don't see how they can do a job like that and they can't be positive. And believe me, I don't believe it's just 100. I think it is far more than the 100 they're talking about, especially when you're looking at the airline as a whole. It's got to be way more people out there with this on those flights. All right, there is some audio here. I'm going to go ahead and play that. Oh, hold on. They may have a commercial playing in the beginning. Yeah, they do. They always do. All right, after this commercial play, I just have the volume down on it because I don't really want to hear it. Okay, here we go. Afraid of catching coronavirus while traveling or commuting? In light of the outbreak, subway and train systems, airlines, and cruise lines are stepping up their cleaning routines. Your safety is our highest priority, and as such, we're going above and beyond recommendations from health experts to disinfect the system. That's because if a person infected with coronavirus gets on a subway or plane, any surface they touch, like a ticket machine or subway pole, can become contaminated. Researchers found viruses from the same family can live as long as 9 days on hard surfaces, but they're not sure about this coronavirus. Before new cleaning procedures were put in place, airlines tidied up seats between flights and did a deep clean at night with high-grade disinfectants, wiping things like tray tables. But that's changing. Reps from Alaska Airlines, for instance, have now said they'll perform enhanced cleaning on any plane that has at least an hour before it takes off again. New York City's thousands of subway cars and buses were cleaned frequently, but not all disinfected on a daily basis. That's changed now too, and other cities have followed suit. Trains, cars, and buses will be cleaned daily, with the MTA's full fleet being disinfected every 72 hours. That's fantastic, and hopefully that makes people feel a little more comfortable. But very quickly, the surfaces can become contaminated again. Dr. Daniel Griffin studies and consults on infectious diseases and says a big fear is if an infected person travels on a plane or commutes on a subway. They touch things like escalators or subway poles, and the virus can be picked up by someone else within minutes. Still, healthy people can exercise precautions. So I took the train in this morning, the Long Island Railroad. I think at one point my eye was bothering me and I thought I might rub that, and I decided I would just wait. We have a habit as human beings of touching our face before you do it. Wash your hands, and we reduce to almost zero the possibility of getting infected with this. A big way this virus is spread is much more direct. Close contact with someone who may cough or sneeze around you. Screening people before they board planes or cruise ships can help to prevent that from happening. Quarantines may keep infected people from using subways and public transit every day. Still, someone may not realize they have coronavirus and get on a train or plane. When you're on the airplane itself, airplanes are actually not so bad for several reasons. One is, even though the air is recirculated, it's actually filtered. So your risk on an airplane is really those people right around you. Are they coughing? Are they sneezing? The cruise ship is an area that a lot of people are quite concerned about. We normally think of this virus as you cough it and it's, can only go about 3 to 6 feet and then gravity brings it to the ground. But in the cruise ship concept, there's this circulating air. The air on cruise ships is not filtered in the same way it is on airlines. And the U.S. State Department now advises anyone with underlying health conditions to avoid cruise travel for the time being. As far as, is everyone going to get it like the flu? Hopefully not. We do have some reason to be optimistic. And part of it, I look out and I see this sunny day today. And this is a type of virus that's enveloped. They're susceptible to being destroyed, inactivated by ultraviolet light. So the sun is our friend. And so there's a bit of optimism as we're getting closer to the spring. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have to travel by plane, under some circumstances, you may have to do it. Especially for a funeral or anything like that. Now, one thing I can honestly tell you, if you do take a flight and go somewhere, make sure you keep your immune systems up. That's when it's really going to be important, when you're in places where other people are. You should be doing that naturally anyway, you know, but this is when it becomes real critical. So the bottom line, just be careful out there. Just be careful. Stay prayed up and just do the best that you can. That's all we can do. That's all we're expected to do. So, y'all, please tell me what you think. I don't think this just applies to American Airline. It actually applies to all airlines at this point. I know they're saying they're sterilizing like an hour before people board, but you never know. I mean, look, they're doing this and flight attendants are still getting sick. You're just open to anything happening out here. But please tell me what you think. And this is also proof of returning to work would be a problem in America, because look, you still got your essential workers out here and they are getting sick. Many of them are getting sick. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.